Hello again and welcome. This is Robert Schein, Managing Director and Partner of Blanke, Schein Wealth Management. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to discuss June in its entirety, sort of some dates that we're paying attention to, so you should be too, as we anticipate the month ahead. And we're in the first week of June. And year to date right now on all the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ, we're in positive territory. So we're almost at the 50% mark this year, and we've seen some positive gains with markets. Now, respectively, we've had value over growth in terms of performance. That's why we have balanced portfolios here at Blanke Schein Wealth Management. We're clearly seeing that financials and energy are the clear leaders over growth and technology year to date. That being said, we also want to pay attention to what's to come and what could actually sort of give us more volatility, if you will, as we have our economic data continuing to improve month over month and year over year. And believe me when I tell you, markets pay attention to this, not only what the Federal Reserve says and what they say post-meeting, but more importantly, how this data and the noise in the data, how we tease it out and interpret it on a go-forward basis. So we're going to go through that right now. We also have clear evidence of substantial progress in the labor markets. And that's significant. Why? Because it's what the Federal Reserve is waiting for and looking towards, because they're looking for full employment on all sort of subsectors of the economy. So that could take some time, as we have a lot of unemployment. Our unemployment in America is still high. We had some great sort of initial claims down to just under 400,000, 385,000 this week on initial claims. And that's a positive reading because that number is continuing to show progress. And so it's coming down. On the other side, we had the ADP report and just over, actually 978,000, just under a million new private payroll job reports was a huge net positive. So both numbers, the unemployment's coming down and private payrolls are adding to, or adding more jobs, if you will. People are being hired. And we're going to see that continue, especially through the summer and then in September, specifically when a lot of the federal and some of the state aid works its way out of the system and people are going to be going back to work and growth. So I will tell you here at Blanke Schein Wealth Management, we're hiring across the board and it is a tough labor market. So if you know somebody, please refer them to us. We're taking a look at all aspects because we're hiring because we're growing and it's a great problem to have. But I will tell you that the labor market is extremely tight right now. Now, goods and services is another topic we're going to discuss today. So services, it has to play catch up. Goods, like everything you can basically think about has been on a backlog, right? Bottlenecks in terms of the goods, because you could stay at home, you can order that, you could do it safely and have it delivered. Now services, right? Restaurants and theme parks and everything's opening up. So now, again, another pull forward on the labor issue because everyone needs people to work in those places for service industry is going to make a huge bounce back. So we're going to see an equalization from goods coming down. We should see that number coming down to services opening up. And those discretionary dollars are going to be switched as consumer behavior goes out in the American public again and starts moving around. We just saw this evidently play out here this last weekend and Labor Day. It's the largest we've seen in quite some time in terms of travelers. Both TSA and the airlines and the airports were jammed, as well as on the roads. And obviously gas prices didn't help that, but people didn't care because last year we couldn't, you couldn't leave. So this year was everyone's getting out and having some fun. Now finally, what to watch, what we're paying attention to at Blanke Schein Wealth Management, what moves the markets in the month of June. Well, there's data economically speaking every day, but I picked out a few key points that we're going to pay attention to for what to watch in June 2021 on a go-forward basis. So this Friday, we're going to have the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's speech. We're going to see what his thoughts are on inflation. Now, keep in mind, the Federal Reserve is providing substantial support also by the bond buying, anywhere from 120 to 160 billion per month and per week on a sort of just a support of the market. And it's providing liquidity and a backdrop and a backstop. So if they have any change in tenor or change in what they're going to say, we're going to see, we're going to pay attention to that because that could move markets. This is this Friday. And the 10th of June, the core CPI, year over year, month over month, initial claims and continuing claims. Those are all inflationary indicators. So the CPI, Consumer Price Index, we want to see where that is. The Federal Reserve pays attention to that. We do too, because that also will have an effect on a go-forward basis on interest rates. The Fed interest rate decision policy and press conference. I probably will say this is the most important because we don't expect interest rates to rise, but we do want to find out what they say in the press conferences. This could move markets on the 16th. Positively or negatively. Positively, meaning supporting if the Federal Reserve says we still need some time and we will still provide for economic data and the economy to sort of open up. So we're there going to be the backstop. We're still going to be providing sort of that support. Economically speaking and financially, monetary policy will be full support. Or the opposite, which have a negative effect on the markets, which means that they could basically see some dissent among the policymakers on the federal board within. And because all of the board members have their respective sort of vote as to whether they keep the policy in force or if they want to raise interest rates on a go-forward basis. So the press conference is going to be the highlight of June, and we expect more volatility as we lead up to this date. And then finally, another one to watch is the GDP growth rate. And that's going to be at the end of the month. And so that should round out a good month as to economic data. And it really matters on a go-forward basis because we've got so much noise in the economic data of the market opening up, economies opening up, bottlenecks, and goods and services working their way through it. We believe that the labor market will continue to improve. We believe that the economy will continue to improve and corporations will still be able to make a lot of money. The question is, on the go-forward basis, what does the inflationary look like? And how quickly does the Federal Reserve pull back the punch bowl from the party, if you will, because of such sort of easy policy? So that's what we're going to pay attention to. Thanks for watching here at Blanke, Schein Wealth Management. Again, we're here for reviews. We're here for friends and family. And if you like this, like and subscribe. So thanks for tuning in today. Take care.